Hello everyone. Welcome on in. I'm Velvet and thanks for joining me today for a family home in grey speed build. So that's today's speed build and I am delighted to show you this particular build because it is base game only. Can you believe it? I think it looks fantastic for being base game only. Not to toot my own horn, but I just tooted it a little bit. Honk honk. Anyway, come on in. If you haven't joined me before, for a speed build, then you know what? Hi, I'm Velvet. I am a builder in The Sims 4. You know what? I do gameplay and I do CAS as well. So who am I kidding? I just play Sims 4 all of the time and I love it. I love it. But I do love speed building or building the very most out of all of the things. It's my very favorite thing to do, and I am from New Zealand. I create content on YouTube as well as stream on Twitch and YouTube. So you know, if you want to check some more of my content out, I have plenty of it. There's a lot there. Check out some of those playlists, and there's some really great builds in there, particularly if you're into the old speed builds. So, what are we doing today? I wanted to do something in base game only. We got this new update. Well, I say new update. This is ages ago now. I don't actually know what inspired me particularly with this particular build. I feel like I maybe started it a while ago and then I came back to it, but I don't think I did. I think I just wanted to randomly just do a base game only build. Base game is an interesting challenge as far as building goes. I actually really enjoy building just base game homes. I think part of that is because you have to push your creativity to really make it look interesting, but you also get the joy of not having much to choose from, and so you know you just kind of have limited selection, so you don't have to spend hours just searching through the build by menu looking for things because there's not much to look at. So I feel like that's an advantage when you're doing base game only builds, but that also has the flip side downside to that, which is that you don't have much to choose from and you've got limited ways to make the build look good, you know, particularly when it comes to rugs, painting and clutter. Those are the three things that I struggle with the most when it comes to doing a base game build. I don't know how you guys feel about doing base game builds. How do you feel about it? Do you like doing base game only builds? Because I actually really enjoy it. Or is it just like, nah, I want to use all my packs. I want to have all the pretty things. Or do you like to just really torture yourself with these crazy build challenges and make it hard on yourself like I do? Yeah, I'm a lunatic. I realize this. But I enjoy it. And I like the limitations. It's just funny when I do limit myself, and I'm doing a whole lot of limited builds, which I kind of have been lately. When I hit those builds where I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go wild. I'm going to use all my packs, and it's just like, you know, that moment in Braveheart, the movie Braveheart, and Mel Gibson's character is shouting freedom. That's very much what it's like when you let loose and just use every pack in the game, right? That's very much what I feel like sometimes when I'm just like, I'm just going to use all my packs, and I'm just like, freedom. It's great. Also, the other thing with this build that I really like is that I was using brick. Now, this is a wallpaper that I don't use a lot of. Like, I don't go to brick as one of my go-to wallpapers. Like, I generally will go with woods and plasters for my builds. But I am trying to expand and be a little bit braver with my wallpapers, and I don't know what it is about brick, but I feel like brick is kind of like one of my nemesises in the game as far as wallpaper goes. So I always feel like I don't build well with brick, and I don't know that that's necessarily true, because I feel like this is a really lovely home. Like, I think it's a really pretty brick home. I think it's really red brick that I kind of struggle with a little bit more. Like a grey brick, it's kind of like an entryway brick for me. Like, you know, I can handle grey a lot more than I can handle the red brick, and I don't know why. It's just like this weird like thing in my head, I think, when it comes to building, and I'm trying to push myself out of that. Like red brick with industrial builds, yes, absolutely, because I can do modern and I can do it with black and I can do it with dark greens and just like, you know, really get into that. And I love an industrial build. So, you know, red brick when it comes to that, but like when it's a red brick or a brick with a suburban home, I do find, or like, you know, like just like a regular family home, I do find that a little bit more of a struggle for me. So I'm trying to push past that by making myself build with brick more. And I don't have to, but I want to, because I'm always trying to become a better builder, you know? It's always my goal is just to be better at building and to push myself that little bit more and get, you know, a little bit more adventurous creativity wise. Blah, blah, blah. But that's where I want to, that's how I am, and that's how I sort of picture things as a build. I just don't want to do the same build over and over and over again. I want to like take that build and I want to make it better. And I can only make builds better by pushing myself to be a better builder and to try new things and to, you know, use different items in the game, and yeah, to look at different architecture styles. And you know, that's how I become a better builder and explore the game, you know, even more, and get to know it more, because you know, you sort of see builders out there, and I'm, as far as builders go, relatively new to the building game. Like I've been building probably, oh, when I stack it up now, it's about 3 years. But you know, I haven't been one of those builders that's just like built through the franchise. And there are those builders out there, and they're just utterly amazing, and they have this understanding of the Sims from where to go. And you know, they have all these techniques that they've developed over these years throughout the franchise: Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4. And I just don't have that advantage. Like I was never much of a builder when it came to Sims 1, which is the main Sims game that I played before playing Sims 4. Like I played a little bit of Sims 2, but again, that was gameplay. And I skipped Sims 3. Like I do own the base game Sims 3 now. I haven't really played it much, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I skipped Sims 3 entirely. And I kind of had to be convinced to come back to Sims 4. Because I was just kind of like, because I didn't really love Sims 2 at the time. Like I played it a little bit and it's just like, I don't know if I love this. And then Sims 3, I just looked at it and went, nah. And yeah, so one of my in real life friends was just like, you know, I've been playing Sims 4, you should try it. And I was like, oh, fine, okay, I'll give it a go. And here I am a few years later. Like I just played it really casually for a few years, and then I just started to get into it probably about 3 years ago as a sort of like a full-time game that I play all of the time. And yeah, I've just really immersed myself in the world of Sims 4. But anyway, that's just sort of around about when I started building seriously. Like I used to just build a square and maybe or maybe not plonk a roof on it. Like most of the time I didn't even bother with the roof, and it just like be a square room, and it would expand as I wanted to add things to the game, and it was just all about the gameplay. I wasn't building at all. And then yeah, just slowly got there as a builder. So anyway, I don't even know how I got on that topic, but anyhow, I'm building away, and I really enjoy it. But I don't have that background as far as a builder goes, through having stepped through all of the franchises. So I still feel like I am very much learning and growing as a builder, and I always want to challenge myself and be better. And I just look at some of the builders out there in the world, and they're just so good, and I'm just like, I want to be so good. And I feel like I'm getting there. And, you know, not every home is going to be the perfect home. But, you know, that's just always going to be the case. Like, at the time, it really works for what you're doing. And then sometimes you look back on homes and you're just like, oh, could have done that better. Could have done that better. But I actually, you know what, honestly, I really like this home and how it came together. I think I really, really like the shape of it. And I really like the grey brick. I thought that was really pretty. But I really liked how I decorated this home as well. I thought I did a good job of working with what I had in, you know, kind of creative ways. I don't know why I put a picture on that mirror. I did take it off. I think you'll see me take it off shortly, because I looked at it and went, just like, why did I do that? But you know, just using these different colors, because I wanted to maintain the gray on the inside as well, but I couldn't do just like gray and white on the inside. I needed some other color to really balance that out. So it ended up being, as you can see here, the dark blue was the color that I ended up using as the counterbalance to the gray. And you know, with the gray and the white and the dark blue, that just works so nice. I do wish there was a lot more dark blue items in the game in general. there's a real lack of them. Fortunately, there seems to be a few sort of modernish items in the dark blue in base game, but in the general overall sense and feel of the game in terms of what we have is built by, yeah, there's a real lack of dark blue items because I do try because I love building with dark blue. I think dark blue is a gorgeous color to work with, but yeah, the times that I do build with it and I'm like going full tilt with all of the packs, and I've every time I've felt it, it is a challenge to find those dark blue items that you really like. When it's base game, it's just like, you're just kind of going to work with what you got, right? And try and make it look good. And I feel like I did that. I think that was good. I popped in, touches of cream as well into that. So yeah, a few colors. I liked the idea of having that separate kind of family room, which is what that room off to the side of the fireplace was. That was kind of like a separate sort of family room / study where, the family can kind of hang out. And then there's like a TV area. It's kind of like in the kitchen dining living space. So, it kind of works out that way. I really like the little stack painting idea that I had there as well. I'm going to reuse that idea. I thought that was cool. But, the base game really has evolved over the years as well when it comes to The Sims 4. And I really appreciate that they actually haven't just left it as a static base game. They are consistently adding more and more things to base game. Like the last really big update they did with all the modern items have honestly, from a builder's perspective, made such a difference to the game. Like, I use those base game kitchen counters all of the time because they're really, really fantastic. Like, I will use them over, if I'm using lots of different packs, they will still get a look in at being used because I think they're really good and I just use them all of the time regardless of what packs I'm using. So, I really love the columns. I love that fireplace we got. I love the fireplace mat that we have as well. It was just, they were really great additions to the game. And, the windows and the doors, like, I'm using those all the time as well. And that's what base game should be, right? Base game should be the base for everything that we build with. And, it should be items that we do want to use as basic items throughout the build. So, I feel like we are slowly getting there with some of the wallpapers and the carpet that we've got now. Although I haven't been using the carpet that much. I've gotten so used to using the wooden floors because the carpets have been so bad for years that I just kind of forget about the fact that we've got carpets. And it's just like, I have to actually physically remind myself, you can put carpet in, Velvet. You can put carpet in. You don't just have to use the wooden floors and the tiles. You can use carpet now because we have actual swatches that aren't horrible. Which is nice. Although I do like the pastel pop carpet. And there is like the dine out carpet sometimes okay as well. So depending on the build. There's a couple of okay carpets there, but base game wise, there wasn't. So the fact that we've got a nice base game carpet now is actually quite nice. I do appreciate that. Now, what have we got as far as rooms in this house? You know what? I'm going to have to look that up because I do not remember. I do keep notes on all my builds. So, I can refer back to them because my memory is bad. And also I build so much that I don't remember sometimes one build to the other. So this is a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom home on a 30 by 20 lot. So there you go. So it's good for a family. I think I did build this for family living. Yes, I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I was just watching me dad do this little trick here with the bath. And I'm just putting like little shrunk down counters in behind and just like a little bit of clutter just to have like a, like a little shelf, I guess, in behind the bath for things. Worked a treat. And also the false laundry basket. Because of course we don't have laundry in base game. No laundry. Although I feel like a lot of people don't really like having to do the laundry. I don't know. Do people like having to do the laundry in The Sims? I always find it difficult. Whenever I have like the laundry on when I'm doing gameplay and have a laundry in the actual gameplay sort of side of things, I find laundry difficult. Like, it's really hard to keep on top of. Like, The Sims go through clothes, particularly if you've got a large family. The Sims go through clothes like anything. And then, all of a sudden, it's been a couple of days and you haven't done laundry, and then you've got like laundry pouring out everywhere, and you're like, and then so you go and do all the laundry, and then half the time I stuff up and don't realize that the laundry hasn't actually been washed properly. Like, I've put it in and then forgot to wash it, and then I go move it to the dryer, And then, yeah, basically this it's still all dirty. And I always do things like that. And then I set the dryer on fire because I forget to clean the lint trap. It ends up being a whole thing. Laundry's a whole big thing. But also, it just like it's one of those little realistic tasks in the game that I feel like it does add to the interest of the everyday living in The Sims, and I feel like a lot of people do really enjoy that. I do quite enjoy it when I have the patience for it. I don't always have the patience for it though, so it kind of depends. But to be fair, I play a lot of gameplay challenges. I don't do just like a lot of just everyday building a family kind of thing. I'm doing the 100 baby challenge. I'm doing the Super Sim challenge, which actually with the Super Sim challenge, I do find that a little bit more laid back as far as getting things done. So, I am really enjoying, being able to get into the nitty gritty of building, and creating and evolving these Sims. It's been quite fun. And then the Not So Berry challenge, which is a lot of fun, very goal orientated. Now, this bedroom was an interesting one because I really struggled with the color of this and getting the right color for it, and also the layout of it. So you'll see here, I'm just switching the layout of the wardrobe to the other side. The reason I'm doing that is because I really wanted to actually create like a little study kind of officey little nook in that corner. I decided that I wanted to create it in that room, and then I decided that the corner where I'd put the clothing was actually a better corner for for the study. So you'll see, yes, I slowly got the room together in the right colors. It was one of those rooms where I was just like fluffing around with colors for quite a while, and it just wasn't really, it wasn't really gelling. But when I sort of like switched the wallpaper to blue and then just brought in like the grey rug, and then it just all sort of came together from there. I'm creating from the skull. Oh no, what are they? They're the sugar skulls. They're the sugar skulls. So the sugar skulls that you collect in base game, you get the sugar skull shelf that you get with that. And I actually quite often when I'm doing base game builds actually turn that into a wall bookshelf because you can sort of make your own bookshelf out of it. It's quite handy. It's quite a good little shelf. I don't love all of the swatches in it. Like the white swatch I think is probably the best swatch, and it's like the most versatile swatch because it doesn't look a little bit, it doesn't look weird, I guess is the best way to put that in a modern home, to have that shelving in there. So this is the nursery. Now what did I put in here? I think I put a crib and a toddler bed in here. So I went with the beautiful yellow confetti. This is actually one of my favorite base game wallpapers, is that confetti wallpaper. It's one of the most flexible wallpapers in terms of colors, and it has some really good stuff. It's like really good for kids' rooms and bits and pieces as well. But I've used it in all sorts of different rooms, but I feel like it really does fit kids' rooms really well. That confetti wallpaper. It's definitely because the kid base game wallpaper. No, not a fan so much. So it is quite often a struggle, I feel, to get a really nice look for a room for kids in base game, just because the wallpaper isn't the bestest in the world, particularly if you are building a modern home. I feel like if you're building a more traditional home, you've got more options, but in a more modern home, it does get a little bit more difficult to find the really good wallpapers for kids' rooms. And this is, speaking of kids' rooms, this is a kid's room. So you've got the master bedroom, and you've got the nursery, and then this is a kid's room. So it's got 2 single beds in there, so it's like a shared room. It could be twins, or it could be a teen and a younger kid, or it could be just like 2 kids, depending on how many kids you have. I don't know. But yeah, you could probably fit quite a decent sized family in this house, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, you could fit, if you had like a toddler, you could have an infant, you could have uh, 2 kids. So you'd probably have like six people in this house. Not too bad, right? So we are going to tour the build. I was too busy yakking and we got into tours just like that. But I was really pleased with how this came together on the outside. Actually, I was really pleased with how it came together altogether. It's a really nice build. I think if you're looking for a really nice suburban build in base game, like you don't have a lot of packs and you just kind of want to add to it, you can probably tweak this really easily in game and really evolve it to, you know, look the way that you want it to look. But yeah, I think it came together really nicely. I was really pleased with it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. So if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It does help me out. It's completely free. And, you know, it means that I can maybe give you a little bit of a nudge now and then. You might see it on your feed to come back and watch another one of my vids. I do have a lot of speed builds coming out, usually 2 or 3 a week, and as well as like plenty of gameplay and bits and pieces in The Sims. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun, and I will catch you next time round. Bye!